welcome back to my channel. I'm Erika and today I'm going to talk about some books that I may or may not have bought for myself when I shouldn't have. Yeah, I ended school and I was a bit too happy about that, so I may have lashed out a bit on the internet for some books. But I'm really happy about all of them and let's get started. The first book that I bought is All the Night We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, and this is a book set in World War II and it's about two children. One little girl who is blind and lives in Paris with her family, and one homeless German boy who is homeless, doesn't have a family, and he ends up joining the Hitler Youth. And I think the ones that are living in Paris are forced to hide from the Nazis, so they have two different perspectives of the war, one on the Hitler side and one on people that Hitler hunted. It's children's World War II, it's going to make me cry. I am pretty positive about that, so I probably will not be reading this one in a lot of public spaces because it has a major warning that it's going to make me become a tsunami. Another book that I bought that kind of revolves around World War II is The History of Love by Nicole Cross. And this is the story of Leo, who was in love with a girl named Alma when he was a small boy or a teenager or something, and then they were separated by the war, but he swore to never love anybody else but her. Now he has actually kept that promise. He's quite old now and he hasn't even loved anybody else. He is still kind of loving in the past and is not letting himself live in the way that you should. So that's where this story takes off, and I think we're going to explore his journey into being an actual person instead of just someone standing on the sidelines, and his road to actually accepting that it is okay to move on. One of my friends in school, she read this for a Swedish class and she absolutely loved it. I read some of her essays and they sounded very interesting. They made this book sound very interesting. I know there's quite a good plot twist in this one. Unfortunately, I know what it is, but I think it's absolutely amazing, and if you didn't know it, I think it will probably blow your mind when you actually reveal it. This is another story that I'm so excited about reading. It is Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer, and he is actually potentially one of my favorite authors of all time, and this is kind of considered to be his masterpiece. So I have quite high expectations about this one. I read Everything's Illuminated about a month ago and it is like absolutely stunning, so I think this one is going to be in the same kind of leagues. It's a story about the boy called Oscar, and he finds a key that belonged to his father, and his father died in the 9/11 attack, so now he kind of sets out in New York City to find the lock in which the key fits. And on the journey, I guess he will encounter some new people and kind of find out more about his family and its history. So it's probably a bit of a coming of age story. I think it's going to be heartbreaking, it's going to be absolutely captivating, and I'm just so excited. It's one of these books when you open up the few first pages, it's just full of, amazing reviews of people that are very highly respected that have actually loved it. So this one, I think I will just I just can't contain myself until I get to read it. I need to have it right now. It's kind of a funny story how I got into reading this book, because about 6 months ago I heard about a story about a book that revolved around a teenage boy who was very geeky, a bit overweight. He was from Latin America and now he lived in the USA, and he had quite a lot of prejudice thrown at him, and I thought it sounded so interesting. I mean, I love everything geeky, and if it's also kind of criticizing the society, I thought it would be amazing. But then I just never remembered what the book was called, and I heard a lot of people talking about this book, The Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde, and I thought it was, lots of people liked it and I didn't really know what it was about, so I went online and checked it out, and when I read the synopsis I discovered that this was the book that I had been looking for all along. The title kind of says that he's going to die, so hopefully it is very misleading, because I think it's very sad when people die. I hope Oscar will find a way to survive this book. I got this kind of modern classic. It's 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. So this one is very, very famous. I've heard so much about it. It's basically, it's magical realism, and it is about a village from Latin America where I think we follow it through multiple generations, and there's some magic and some things going on. I don't know actually too much about it, but I saw this cover and I thought it was very, very pretty, and I like classics. I like reading stuff that has been liked by many people, so hopefully I will like this one as well. I'm trying to read a bit more about Latin America as well, so I think this is going to be perfect. Lastly, I also bought this modern classics. It's Brainy World by Adolf Huxley. I was inspired to read this one because I read Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood in school, and one of the girls that I read the book with, she said this one was quite similar, but it was a bit older, and she thought I would like that one as well. So I have wanted to read this one for a few months, but now I actually got around to buy it, and basically it's a dystopia in a world where genetic engineering has become very dominant and is a very big part of the society. So I believe people have changed their own genomes and doesn't have to do a lot by themselves because they have drugs and genes to do everything for them, and the main character is trying to kind of break free from this kind of society and finds another way of living. You know, chemical engineering and GMO is quite a hot topic right now. I think it deserves to be thought of. So even though this one might be quite old, I think it can still give us a lot of things to talk about and to put our mind into. Those were all the books that I bought. Personally, for me, it's a very large amount of books to buy because I tend to buy things from the library if I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to like them. So I'm super excited about putting them onto my bookshelves. But have you read any of these books, or maybe you have bought some books for yourself this summer? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!